Hello, Peninsula. How are we doing today? This has been a long haul in this pandemic, and it's probably going to be longer. And so sometimes we just need some hope. We need something to hold on to and cling to, that God really is in control of all of this. And so I was thinking about a city I've been to several times in going to Israel. It's the city of Arad. Arad is in southern Israel on the eastern side of things. We will visit it coming up from the Dead Sea after leaving Masada, and we come to this huge mound in the middle of nowhere. In the lower ground is 30 acres of a city built in the days of Abraham, and then up in the higher part that you can see is much more recent in terms of 1000 to 500 BC. So in the latter half of the divided kingdom in the south in Judah. At Arad, the view is stunning from up there of desert oasis, nothing. You can see Beersheba off to the west. You can see the modern city of Arad to the east. But from there, we visit it really because we can see evidence of Israel's sin. There's a life-size replica of the tabernacle in Arad, and it's fascinating to see, and for us it's very interesting. But the place of Arad is very interesting to me as well, and I think it can give us some hope in our God. It says in Numbers chapter 21, Israel is coming from Egypt. They're about ready to come and enter the land, and they might enter from the south. And so it says, when the Canaanite, Numbers 21:1, when the Canaanite king of Arad, who lived in the Negev, heard that Israel was coming along the road to Atharim, he attacked the Israelites and captured some of them. You don't come near me. Then Israel made this vow to the Lord: if you will deliver these people into our hands, we will totally destroy their cities. The Lord listened to Israel's plea and gave the Canaanites over to them. They completely destroyed them and their towns, so the place was named Hormah. It's a rod. They traveled then, verse 4, from Mount Hor along the route to the Red Sea, to go around Edom. But the people, in other words, they went the other way. God directed them back down south and around. The people grew impatient on the way. They spoke against God and against Moses and said, "Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the desert? There's no bread, there's no water, and we detest this miserable food." He brought them up to the brink of entering the land from the south. And they could have come into to the land right away. But God said, no, go back around the Dead Sea, come clear up, and eventually 40 years later, we know they come in through Jericho. It was better to come in the middle and divide the land in half than it was to come in from the south and let all the armies come in. But they didn't like this plan. We don't like God's plan either sometimes. And this is a long pandemic, and we don't know when it will end. But our hope is in the direction of God. His plan is better. And many times it seems in our lives that God leads the long way. And it is our impatience. But remember the lesson of Arad. God only looks from above and plans the map and directs our steps so that it's best. Trust Him today. Thanks.